Hello friends at Worthing Tabernacle. All of us at Union send you our love and our greetings. And I'm especially happy today to share with you a little devotional reflection from Mark chapter 10. Mark 10 from verse 13. They were bringing children to Jesus that he might touch them, and the disciples rebuked them. But when Jesus saw it, he was indignant and said to them, "Let the children come to me, and do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of God. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a child shall not enter it." And he took them in his arms and blessed them, laying his hands on them. What does it mean to receive the kingdom of God like a child? That would seem to be a very important question, because in this passage Jesus says that if we don't receive the kingdom of God in that way, we will never receive it at all. So, receiving the kingdom of God like a child, does that mean with a kind of childlike faith? Does it mean a kind of innocence or a simplicity? I think they might be quite common answers to that question. But the trouble is with those answers, they're not really here in this passage. They are a selection of differences that we might observe between adults and children, but it's no good us just taking some observations and superimposing them on the passage. Otherwise, we might as well say that receiving the kingdom of God like a child could be while dribbling or while wearing a nappy. We need to ask what is actually there in the text that describes how the children come. And there are three things that the passage says about these children. Firstly, they are brought to Jesus. Secondly, Jesus takes them up in his arms. Thirdly, Jesus blesses them. Three things, I think, making one really significant point. They are all passive. They're brought to Jesus by other people. Then Jesus takes them in his arms and Jesus blesses them. Receiving the kingdom of God really, actually, truly is about receiving. It is not something we do or earn. It's not about a condition in which we come. It's not about trying to become innocent or attempting to be spiritually childlike, whatever that might mean. As if I could somehow sort of shed my cynical, world-weary baggage and all of that. It just is far too me-centred. It's about what I'm doing. The kingdom of God is the kingdom of God. It's Jesus' kingdom where he is the focus and he is the hero and he does all the saving work. And in this passage, the little children demonstrate how the kingdom of Jesus works. Even a little child can enter the kingdom. It belongs to little children because even they can do this one simple thing, genuinely receive the love and blessing of Jesus Christ. So think of all the children in your church family. The kingdom of God belongs to them. If they will receive Jesus, the kingdom of God belongs to them. It's that simple. And for the adults, it's equally as simple. There is no psychological or spiritual preparation that you need to do before you can receive the kingdom of God. It's not as if the kingdom of God is only for those who have already become sort of intellectually mature and who've kind of got a bit world-worn enough, and they've just seen enough stuff that they are able to somehow step down a bit and make themselves humble and make themselves simple and innocent again, and then they can receive. No, you don't need to get up here so you can get down here. The kingdom of God is for those who, like children, can just open-handed, empty-handed receive. There are no hoops to jump through. Entering the kingdom is being brought to Jesus by other people. It is being taken up into his arms. It is being blessed by him. It is not, therefore, necessarily driven by personal intent and a kind of decision of the will. It may not come from the deepest intellectual understanding. It may not be marked by really intense spiritual determination and zeal. It certainly isn't coming with all our might, trying to be as innocent and childlike and spiritually simple as possible. No, in truth, we can stop trying so hard. In truth, the gospel is never about our doing or our working or our feelings. It's always about being the beneficiary of Christ's blessing at his initiative through the church. That's what this passage demonstrates. When the disciples kept those children away from Jesus, they felt that such little ones did not qualify. And maybe at times you feel like you perhaps don't qualify. Well, that is the exact opposite of the gospel. That is the exact lie that Jesus is taking on in this passage. Jesus says the children must be allowed in, the simplest, the weakest. Those who are most dependent, who can only receive, they must be allowed in. Otherwise, we have made an entrance requirement for the kingdom for all of us that Jesus himself didn't put in place. It's not put there by Jesus, but just by us. Therefore, the gospel is ruined. And so Jesus says the children must come. And the littlest children among us demonstrate to us the heart of the gospel is that God gives and we passively receive. We come with open, empty hands of faith and we receive Jesus' embrace. We receive Jesus' blessing. If you feel like you don't qualify, if you feel that you don't have anything to give, if you just feel like you may as well be a little helpless, needy baby, then the kingdom of God is for you. It is our Father's delight to give you the kingdom.